There's an old saying, the tongue has no bones, yet it can break a heart. What we say has power to inspire, to connect, or to destroy. The same is true for our thoughts, our emotions, and the way we handle our resources. The four S's, mouth, mind, mood, and money, are not just parts of our life. They are levers that control our future. Let's start with the mouth. Words are more than sounds. They are seeds. Once spoken, they can never be taken back. Too often, people lose opportunities, relationships, and trust. Not because they lack skill or intelligence, but because they failed to control what they said in a moment of anger or pride. Before speaking, ask yourself, will my words build or break? Will they solve or escalate? Mastering the mouth isn't about silence, it's about speaking with intention. Then there's the mind. If your mouth is the messenger, your mind is the headquarters. Every decision, every action begins as a thought. But here's the challenge: the human mind is noisy. It's full of doubts, assumptions, and old beliefs we never question. Learning to filter your thoughts is like cleaning a window. You begin to see the world and yourself more clearly. Feed your mind with knowledge, not gossip. Train it with focus, not distraction. Because the quality of your life is a reflection of the quality of your thinking. Now we come to mood. Your mood is the atmosphere you carry everywhere you go. Walk into a room with negativity and you'll drain the energy from it. Walk in with optimism and you'll lift everyone around you. Controlling your mood doesn't mean faking happiness. It means developing emotional discipline. Life will test you with setbacks, criticism, and stress. But if you allow your emotions to control you, they will push you toward decisions you'll regret. Choose your mood the way you choose your clothes, intentionally knowing the effect it will have on others and on yourself. And finally, money. Money is not just currency, it is a mirror of your discipline. It reflects your habits, your patience, and your priorities. The way you handle your money tells a story about your future. Spend without thought, and you'll buy short-term pleasure, but sell your long-term stability. Invest wisely, save consistently, and you create options. Control your money and you control your freedom. When you master these four, mouth, mind, mood, and money, you gain more than success. You gain self-respect. You become trustworthy in your words, wise in your thoughts, calm in your emotions, and secure in your resources. It's not easy, but neither is living with the consequences of losing control over them. The real question is, which kind of difficult will you choose? 5 keynotes from the speech: words once spoken cannot be taken back. Speak with intention, not impulse. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. Train your mind to focus on truth and growth. Emotional discipline is the ability to choose your mood regardless of circumstances. Money management is a reflection of your self-control and vision for the future. Mastering your mouth, mind, mood, and money creates trust, respect, and long-term success. Words once spoken cannot be taken back. Speak with intention, not impulse. This truth is simple, yet it's one of the hardest to live by. Words are powerful tools, but they are also weapons when used carelessly. Once they leave your lips, they no longer belong to you. They belong to the ears, hearts, and minds of those who hear them. You cannot pull them back, erase them, or undo the impact they create. You can apologize, you can explain, but you can never unsay something. That's why controlling your mouth is not just a sign of wisdom. It's a form of protection for your relationships, your reputation, and your peace of mind. The danger is that most people speak in the heat of emotion rather than the clarity of thought. In moments of anger, our words often run ahead of our judgment. In moments of excitement, we may overpromise or reveal more than we should. In moments of insecurity, we may speak to defend ourselves without realizing we're pushing others away. The impulse to speak can be so strong that we forget the lasting consequences. Think about how many arguments escalated because someone said something they didn't mean, only to regret it later. In many cases, the hurt caused by those words outlasts the memory of the situation itself. Speaking with intention means pausing before responding. It means recognizing that the first thought that comes to mind is not always the one that should be voiced. The pause gives you space to consider, will this word solve or deepen the problem? Will it build trust or break it? Will it make me proud later or leave me wishing I had stayed silent? That moment of reflection is where emotional intelligence meets communication. It's where you move from speaking to be heard to speaking to make a positive impact. There's also the reality that words can shape how people perceive you. In professional environments, the way you express yourself influences how much trust and respect you receive. One careless comment can make others doubt your judgment. One unkind remark can damage years of goodwill. And in personal relationships, words can either strengthen bonds or weaken them beyond repair. People rarely forget how you made them feel, and your words are one of the main ways you create those feelings. Speaking with intention isn't about being overly cautious or afraid to express yourself. It's about being purposeful. It's about aligning your words with your values and your goals. If kindness is a value, Your words should reflect that even when you're frustrated. If integrity is a value, your words should be truthful even when the truth is uncomfortable. And if your goal is to resolve a conflict, your words should be chosen to de-escalate, not inflame. Impulse-driven speech often comes from a need to be right, to defend, or to win. But intentional speech is not about winning. It's about connecting, understanding, and creating outcomes you won't regret later. It's knowing that sometimes silence is more powerful than any sentence you could form. Silence gives you time to think, it prevents unnecessary harm, and it signals to others that you value the conversation enough to choose your words carefully. Another element of speaking with intention is understanding timing. The right words at the wrong time can still cause harm. If someone is in an emotional state where they cannot receive what you're saying, your words, no matter how well-meaning, may be misunderstood. Choosing the right moment to speak can make all the difference in whether your words heal or hurt, solve or complicate. There's also the temptation of gossip and idle talk. Many people underestimate the damage caused by speaking about others without their knowledge. Even if the information is true, passing it on without purpose or permission erodes trust, not only between you and the person you're talking about, but also between you and the person you're talking to. If someone hears you speak negatively about others, they naturally assume you might do the same about them. Speaking with intention requires you to ask, does this need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said right now? The discipline to speak with intention doesn't happen overnight. It comes from a conscious decision to be more mindful each time you communicate. It requires humility to admit that you don't always need to have the last word, and wisdom to know that not every opinion needs to be shared. When you master this, your words start to carry more weight because people know that when you speak, you've thought about it and it matters. Over time, speaking with intention creates a reputation. People trust you more because they know you won't speak recklessly. They feel safer around you because they know you won't use words to wound them. And you'll find that your relationships, both personal and professional, become stronger because you've built them on the foundation of respect and careful communication. In the end, controlling your mouth is not about restriction, it's about responsibility. It's about using the power of your words to create the kind of impact you can live with both now and in the future. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. Train your mind to focus on truth and growth. Every action, every choice, every result you experience begins as a thought. Your mind is the command center of your existence, and whatever you allow it to dwell on will eventually shape your reality. If you constantly feed it fear, doubt, and negativity, it will produce a life filled with hesitation and missed opportunities. If you nurture it with clarity, hope, and disciplined thinking, it will guide you toward decisions that create progress and fulfillment. Your external world is often just a mirror of your internal thinking patterns. Most people underestimate how much control they have over their mental environment. They believe that thoughts simply arrive and that they have to accept whatever comes into their head. But your mind is like a garden. If you don't choose what to plant, weeds will grow on their own. Negative thinking doesn't require effort. It happens naturally when you let the mind run without guidance. Positive, productive thinking, however, requires deliberate cultivation. It means deciding what mental input you consume, what books you read, what conversations you engage in, what media you allow to influence you. Every piece of information you take in becomes a seed in your mental garden, and over time, those seeds grow into beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Training your mind begins with awareness. You cannot improve the quality of your thoughts if you don't first notice them. Too often, we operate on autopilot, letting old habits of thinking dictate our actions without even realizing it. You may have limiting beliefs you've carried since childhood, beliefs about your worth, your capabilities, or what's possible for you. Until you challenge them, they will quietly shape every decision you make. Awareness is about catching yourself in the moment when a thought arises and asking, is this thought true? Is it helping me grow? Is it leading me toward the life I want? This kind of questioning interrupts the cycle of unhelpful thinking and opens the door to new possibilities. The mind has a tendency to believe what it hears repeatedly. This is why self-talk matters so much. If you keep telling yourself you're not ready, you'll find reasons to prove yourself right. If you tell yourself you are capable of learning and adapting, you'll start acting in ways that make it true. Your inner dialogue is the blueprint your actions follow. It's not about blind positivity or ignoring challenges. It's about framing your thoughts in ways that empower rather than weaken you. For example, instead of thinking, I've never done this before, I'll probably fail. You could think, I've never done this before, so this is a chance to learn. The facts are the same, but the way you think about them changes your emotional state and the actions you take. Focusing on truth is also critical because the mind can easily be deceived by assumptions, exaggerations, and fears. The human brain tends to fill in gaps in information with stories, and those stories are not always accurate. When you face a challenge or hear criticism, your mind might instantly create a narrative about what it means. Training your mind means pausing to check the facts. Is this really as bad as I think it is? Is this feedback meant to harm me, or could it help me improve? By anchoring your thoughts in truth rather than assumption, you make better decisions and respond more rationally to difficulties. Growth-oriented thinking also requires you to step outside your comfort zone. The mind naturally seeks safety, preferring familiar routines and predictable outcomes. But personal growth often feels uncomfortable because it demands that you challenge old beliefs, learn new skills, and face uncertainty. Training your mind for growth means teaching it to view discomfort not as danger, but as a sign that you are expanding. When you approach challenges with curiosity instead of fear, your mind becomes a tool for exploration rather than a shield for avoidance. Another essential part of mental training is focus. We live in a world of endless distractions, notifications, opinions, breaking news, entertainment, all competing for our attention. If you allow your mind to scatter in all directions, you dilute its ability to solve problems and create results. Focus is the discipline of directing your mental energy toward one meaningful task or goal at a time. It's choosing depth over speed, quality over quantity. A focused mind can achieve in hours what a distracted mind struggles to accomplish in days. The quality of your thinking also determines how you handle setbacks. When things go wrong, an untrained mind quickly turns to blame, excuses, or hopelessness. A trained mind, however, sees failure as feedback. It looks for the lesson, the adjustment, the next step forward. This mindset doesn't erase the pain of setbacks, but it ensures that the pain is productive. It moves you toward improvement rather than keeping you stuck in regret. Ultimately, your mind is your most valuable asset, and its quality is your responsibility. If you want a better life, you must start with better thoughts. Train it to focus on what is true, useful, and aligned with your growth, and it will lead you toward choices that improve not just your circumstances, but also your character. The life you live tomorrow is being designed today in the thoughts you choose to keep. Emotional discipline is the ability to choose your mood regardless of circumstances. While we cannot control everything that happens around us, we always have a choice in how we respond internally. This is the essence of emotional discipline. It's the skill of deciding how you will feel and act, even when external events seem determined to push you in the opposite direction. Many people believe their moods are dictated by what happens to them. If the day goes well, they feel good. If it doesn't, they feel bad. But living this way is like handing over the steering wheel of your emotional state to the world, and the world will never drive you exactly where you want to go. Emotions are powerful, and they can influence not only how we feel, but also how we think, speak, and behave. When we let our emotions control us, we make decisions we later regret. Anger can push us to say hurtful things. Fear can stop us from seizing opportunities. Frustration can make us give up too soon. But when we develop the discipline to choose our mood, we gain the ability to respond rather than react. This is not about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about managing them in a way that allows you to stay in control of your actions and maintain clarity in your thinking. The first step toward emotional discipline is self-awareness. You cannot control what you do not notice. If you go through your day without paying attention to your emotional shifts, you will be driven by them without realizing it. Awareness means catching yourself in the moment when irritation starts to rise or when anxiety begins to build. It's pausing long enough to ask, is this mood helping me right now? Is it making me think more clearly or clouding my judgment? That small moment of recognition creates a space where choice becomes possible. Choosing your mood doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. It means you acknowledge them without letting them dictate your actions. For example, you may feel disappointed after receiving criticism, but instead of letting that disappointment turn into bitterness, you can decide to channel it into motivation to improve. You might feel nervous before an important meeting, but you can choose to interpret that nervousness as excitement and energy rather than fear. The emotion itself might still be there, but you've reframed how you experience it, and that changes its effect on you. External triggers will always be present. People may speak harshly, plans may fall apart, challenges may appear without warning. Without emotional discipline, these triggers instantly shape our mood, and our mood shapes our behavior. But when you practice emotional discipline, you can decide to maintain a state of calm or optimism even when things go wrong. This doesn't mean you're indifferent. It means you value your stability more than you value reacting in the heat of the moment. Over time, this stability builds resilience, allowing you to recover from setbacks faster and make more thoughtful decisions under pressure. One way to strengthen emotional discipline is to focus on perspective. Often our mood is influenced not by the event itself, but by the meaning we attach to it. If you lose an opportunity, you can choose to see it as a complete failure or you can choose to see it as a redirection towards something better. The event hasn't changed, only your perspective has, and yet that change can completely transform your emotional state. Training yourself to look for a constructive perspective in every situation helps you maintain control over your mood, even in difficult circumstances. Another important element is the practice of intentional response. This means deciding in advance how you want to show up in various situations, regardless of how you feel in the moment. You might decide that no matter how stressful your day is, you will greet your family warmly when you get home. You might commit to speaking respectfully, even if someone speaks to you harshly. These intentional decisions become emotional anchors. They keep you steady when your feelings try to pull you in another direction. There's also a physical side to mood regulation. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise all affect how you feel and how easily you can maintain discipline over your emotions. When your body is tired or depleted, your emotional control weakens, and small inconveniences can feel overwhelming. Taking care of your physical state supports your ability to make deliberate emotional choices rather than falling into automatic reactions. Developing emotional discipline doesn't mean you will never feel upset, anxious, or frustrated again. Those emotions are part of being human. The difference is that they will no longer have the power to control you. You will feel them, recognize them, and then choose whether to act on them or not. That choice is where your freedom lies. Instead of being a passenger to your moods, you become the driver, steering your emotional state toward a direction that serves you and those around you. Over time, this ability to choose your mood regardless of circumstances becomes a defining strength, one that protects your relationships, enhances your decision-making, and allows you to live with a sense of inner stability no matter what storms may come. Money management is a reflection of your self-control and vision for the future. The way you earn, spend, save, and invest money says a lot about how disciplined you are and how clearly you can see beyond the present moment. For many people, money is a constant source of stress, not because they don't have enough of it, but because they have not developed the habits to manage it wisely. You can give two people the same income, and one will build stability while the other will struggle paycheck to paycheck. The difference lies not in how much they have, but in how they handle it. Money management begins with self-control because every financial decision you make is a test of your ability to delay gratification. It's easy to spend on things that bring instant comfort or pleasure, but those moments of satisfaction are often short-lived. Choosing instead to save or invest requires the patience to think beyond today and the discipline to resist the pull of impulse. This is why managing money is as much a psychological challenge as it is a practical one. Without the discipline to say no, in the moment, even the best financial plans will fail. Your relationship with money is deeply connected to your mindset. If you see money only as a tool for spending, it will constantly leave your hands as fast as it arrives. But if you see it as a tool for building security and opportunities, you will naturally handle it with greater care. This perspective shapes your habits, whether you track your expenses, create a budget, or set aside a portion for investments. People who view money with a long-term mindset understand that every financial decision is not just about the present, it's also about shaping their future circumstances. Vision plays an equally important role. Without a clear vision for where you want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years, money loses its direction. Having financial goals, whether it's buying a home, starting a business, retiring early, or traveling the world, gives purpose to your saving and investing. Without that purpose, it's easy to fall into random spending because there's no bigger picture guiding your decisions. A clear vision allows you to see that the small sacrifices you make today are not losses, but investments in something greater. Another truth about money is that it reveals patterns of behavior. If you consistently overspend, it may indicate that you struggle with discipline in other areas as well. If you constantly find yourself in debt, it might reflect an inability to live within your means or to plan ahead. On the other hand, people who are careful and intentional with their finances often show similar discipline in their work, relationships, and personal growth. This is because the principles behind money management, planning, patience, and consistency are universal. Emotional spending is one of the biggest challenges to managing money effectively. Many people spend not because they need something, but because they are trying to fill an emotional gap, relieving stress, celebrating without limits, or distracting themselves from problems. While there's nothing wrong with enjoying your money, doing so without awareness or limits can sabotage your stability. Recognizing the difference between needs, wants, and impulses is key to making decisions that align with your long-term goals. Money management also requires the ability to think ahead. Emergencies are inevitable, unexpected medical expenses, job loss, or sudden repairs, and having a financial cushion can mean the difference between navigating them smoothly or falling into crisis. People with strong money discipline prepare for these possibilities, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. They understand that money is not just about what you can enjoy now, but also about what you can protect yourself from in the future. Investing is another aspect that reflects your vision. Choosing to put money into assets that grow over time, whether that's stocks, property, or education, shows that you value long-term rewards over short-term thrills. It also demonstrates trust in your ability to think strategically about the future. Many people shy away from investing because it requires patience and carries risk, but with the right knowledge and discipline, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for building wealth and freedom. Ultimately, how you handle money shapes the kind of life you can live. Poor money habits can keep you trapped in a cycle of stress and limitation, while disciplined money management can create opportunities, freedom, and peace of mind. It's not just about accumulating wealth. It's about creating a foundation that supports your values, your goals, and the people you care about. Every dollar you manage well is a step toward a future where you are in control, not just of your finances, but of the life those finances make possible. Mastering your mouth, mind, mood, and money creates trust, respect, and long-term success. Each of these four elements is powerful on its own, but when they work together in harmony, they shape the way people see you, the way you see yourself, and the direction your life takes. Trust and respect are not given automatically. They are earned through consistent behavior over time, and long-term success is not the result of one lucky break. It's the accumulation of wise choices made repeatedly, often in moments when it would have been easier to take the shortcut or give in to impulse. When you control your mouth, you show others that your words can be relied on. You speak with clarity and care, avoiding unnecessary harm and offering value in your communication. People remember how you make them feel, and if your words consistently uplift, guide, or resolve conflict, you become someone they look to with confidence. Trust begins here because people know that you won't speak recklessly or betray their confidence. Respect grows when they see that you can express yourself honestly without being destructive, and that you choose your words to build rather than break. When you master your mind, you sharpen your thinking and strengthen your decision-making. Clear, focused, and growth-oriented thoughts lead to actions that align with your goals and values. This kind of mental discipline allows you to stay grounded in truth, avoid being swayed by misinformation or emotional impulses, and solve problems effectively. People respect those who can think critically and stay calm under pressure because they know that such individuals can be trusted to make sound decisions. Over time, this mental steadiness reinforces your reputation as someone who can be counted on in both stable and difficult times. When you master your mood, you gain control over one of the most visible parts of your character, your emotional energy. Your mood affects everyone around you. Walk into a room with calm confidence and you lift the atmosphere. Walk in with anger or negativity and you drain it. The ability to choose your emotional state, regardless of external triggers, makes you dependable in the eyes of others. They know they can approach you without fear of unpredictable reactions. That reliability creates trust, and the self-control it demonstrates earns respect. People gravitate toward those who can maintain stability even in chaos, and this emotional steadiness becomes a cornerstone of your influence. When you master your money, you prove that you can handle responsibility, plan ahead, and stay disciplined in the face of temptation. Financial stability is not just about numbers in an account. It's a reflection of your habits, priorities, and foresight. People respect those who live within their means, prepare for the future, and make wise investments because these traits signal maturity and accountability. Trust is built when you show that you can manage resources without recklessness or greed, and long-term success becomes more attainable because you have created the financial foundation to support it. But the real power lies in how these four work together. If you control your mouth but lose control of your mood, your words may still come out sharp and undo the trust you've built. If you manage your money well but fail to discipline your mind, you may make financial decisions based on fear or misinformation. If you have a strong mind but no control over your words, your wisdom may never be heard because people avoid your presence. True mastery requires balance. Each of these areas strengthens the others, creating a complete picture of discipline and reliability. Over time, people begin to notice this balance. They see that your words are thoughtful, your thinking is clear, your emotions are steady, and your finances are managed with care. This consistency builds a reputation that opens doors. Opportunities flow toward those who are trusted and respected because others know that working with them carries less risk and more reward. Long-term success is built on these foundations, not on quick wins or sudden strokes of luck, but on the trust you inspire, the respect you maintain, and the disciplined life you lead day after day. This mastery also changes the way you see yourself. When you know you can control what you say, how you think, how you feel, and how you handle resources, you develop a deep sense of self-respect. You become confident not because of what you own or what others think of you, but because you know you have the discipline to navigate life's challenges without losing your center. This self-respect becomes a quiet strength, one that others can sense even before you speak. Ultimately, mastering these four areas makes you both consistent and adaptable. You can face change without falling apart, navigate conflict without burning bridges, and pursue goals without losing sight of what truly matters: trust, respect, and long-term success are not accidents. They are the byproducts of a life lived with deliberate control over the four elements that most influence your relationships, your reputation, and your results. When you bring them together, you create a kind of stability that not only serves you, but inspires everyone who crosses your path. In the end, controlling your mouth, mind, mood, and money is about more than discipline. It's about taking full responsibility for the life you create. Each of these areas is a pillar that supports your relationships, your opportunities, and your inner peace. When your words are measured, your thoughts are clear, your emotions are steady, and your finances are managed with intention, you stand on a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. Life will always bring challenges, temptations, and moments that test your self-control. But your ability to master these four elements will determine whether those moments break you or build you. True success is not found in a single achievement. It's built day by day in the quiet choices you make to stay in control of yourself.